I have ordered the fuel gauge and the sender from Aircraft Spruce, and when you get your kit it will contain a programmable fuel sending unit, the necessary hardware and seals and gaskets for mounting, a length of wire, some hardware for wiring and installation, and it also comes with a fuel gauge which measures a 2-inch type gauge. Well, I cut a 2 1/4 inch hole in my panel for the gauge, thinking that's the size of gauge that would come because that's what they used to send, but now they're sending a 2-inch gauge. That's no problem because they also have available a bezel that you can mount this gauge into, which will then fit a 2 1/4 inch size hole in the panel. Now, the instructions that come with this gauge are for the old style of sender that used to have a couple of potentiometers up here to calibrate this probe for empty and full. The new probes are programmable, and we'll go through the procedure of installation and calibration in the next few videos of this system. But the bottom line is when you get this installed, now I'm going to have to cut this down to 15 inches. You want to be a 1/2 inch off of the bottom of the tank. The tank at the point where I'm mounting it measures exactly 15.5 inches. So I'll have to cut this down to length, and we'll go through and videotape the procedure on cutting this probe and trimming it prior to installation. The thing you want to be aware of and is to know is important is if you have a little black mark on your probe like this one has, these are bendable probes. You can also cut them to length. So I have elected, rather than to bend this, because this is a 24-inch size probe, 12 inches too short, 24 is too long, so I'll have to cut this back. And I don't really want to bend it because bending these things is much more trickier than just cutting them back to length and then calibrating them. So when you get the instructions, you want to go through and read them very carefully. As far as the installation goes, that hasn't changed. What has changed is the calibration, and there is a page up here. I'm on the Centroid Products web page. They do have this sheet, which is a PDF format. I happen to download it, save it to my computer, and then print it out on how to calibrate these probes. Basically, you're going to calibrate the tank for its empty reading, and as it fills up, that probe will automatically detect where your full mark is at, and it will calibrate itself for full. So in the next few videos, we'll go over the step-by-step procedure for installing the Centroid Products capacitive fuel probe sender and gauge system. Thank you.